Hi, I'm Erik Linask, coming to you from Interop here in New York City. I'm talking with Iain Kenney, who's the Director of Product Marketing for Edgecore Networks. Iain, thanks for joining me. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Erik.
So, since we last chatted out in Las Vegas earlier this year, I guess it's been pretty exciting times for you.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, I guess you're working under a new brand name.
That is correct, yeah, Edgecore Networks.
So what's the difference between, what's the relationship between Edgecore and SMC Networks?
So as of 1st of November, SMC is kind of split basically into two companies, and we've spun off Edgecore Networks, which is really the traditional reseller business for the SMB reseller and enterprise resellers, and that's now called Edgecore Networks, allowing us to focus more exclusively on their needs and allowing SMC Networks, which still continues today, to focus exclusively on their MSO and cable business and kind of more consumer-driven products, which have been the kind of mainstay of that side of the business.
So how does the product line for Edgecore differ?
So the product line for Edgecore really is kind of focused exclusively on switching, really on kind of metal box products, whether it's unmanaged or managed switches, all the way up to 10 gig, and including some metro access products and some other newer exciting products in the mix for Q1 next year. So this time next year I'll be talking about lots of new and exciting technologies. But the bottom line is really kind of focused on where we can add value to our reseller partners.
Now, speaking of new technologies and new products, I know you've got at least a couple of new products out in the market right now.
Yeah, this week we launched two new PoE switches. Obviously, Power over Ethernet, such a big area, whether it's voice over IP or wireless or all kinds of new solutions. So we've launched two new PoE switches to complement our 61 and 81 families. Full power gigabit PoE switch as well as a 48 port 10100. And that's really kind of our commitment to those product lines. They're really a kind of go-forward plan. They've been very successful over the last 18 months or so that they've been out there, and these new PoE switches are just the next iteration of those products. So, yeah, it's really exciting times, and yeah, it's good.
So, what kind of what problems or challenges with your customers are the new switches helping address?
Well, I think it's, I suppose from my perspective, it's more kind of filling out that product line. We've had PoE switches for some time in both of the 61s and 81 series, but they used a kind of power budgeting system for maybe lower density PoE installations, people trying out voice over IP or trying out putting some access points up. But as we see go through 2009 out into 2010, the density of those voice over IP installations is getting bigger. People are really doing full deployments of wireless, so therefore a little bit more power required, a little bit more ports required. And that's really why these products are going to help fix those problems by seeking to offer 48 ports and also 24 ports with full power. So it's really going to help kind of deliver full deployments of PoE applications.
Are you seeing these full deployments and the folks interested in your switches in different sized companies or any particular sized companies within the SMB market?
No, it really is. It really is across the board. Really, if I'm honest, I mean, the key thing for me is to kind of get the products right. And as I say, we work with very small resellers with just a very small number of employees, and also all the way up to very large resellers who are kind of nationally based. So for us, our target market is kind of across the board really. Whether it's a very small business outsourcing all of their IT to a value-added reseller, or whether it's a larger company with a totally internal IT staff who are just buying products. We really want to be able to offer across the board, kind of products for them. And as I say, we do that with maybe some of the 10 gig technology for those larger deployments, right, which is also our kind of complementing the edge connectivity is at 10100 or gigabit.
Are you seeing more interest in wired or wireless technologies right now?
Well, wireless is a huge thing. Here at the show, Interop, lots of wireless vendors, obviously, and I'm sure they're even talking to you on some of these interviews. But the key thing for us is wired offers a very kind of consistent approach, and people, particularly if they're doing things like voice over IP and putting out maybe cameras or APs, wired really isn't going away anytime soon. So we have wireless products, and you're going to see more wireless products from Edgecore Networks. But as I say, certainly from our wired business, there's certainly no slowdown in people trying to deploy wired, whatever some of the other vendors try to say about wired being dead. It's really not going away anytime soon.
This is going to be a place for wired and wireless.
Absolutely correct.
Excellent. Well, Iain, thanks for joining me again. been talking here with Iain Kenney from now Edgecore Networks. It's been a pleasure as usual, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks, Erik. Bye for now.
Thanks.